we need to have the feedback from these sessions. And Helen's going to take us through the public sector, isn't it, Helen?
Okay, this is the group that talked about the public sector. Hello. This is the group that talked about the public sector. Paul Southwood chaired it, and our speaker was Peter Flack. Unfortunately, Peter has had to rush off to another meeting because he's hosting some other event this afternoon. So I took some notes, and Peter what I assume he thought were the key points from the discussion on the flip chart. So I'll just say first of all that Peter started by saying that next year in Leicester there will be a projected additional £30 million worth of cuts, which the government is forcing the council to make. That's additional to the cuts that are already in process, a further £30 million of the cuts. And the likely effects of that will be to close most elderly care homes, libraries, Sure Start centres, etc. So think about that. That's next year. Councillors, of course, are in a no-win situation. We have two councillors in our group, Sue Barton and Wayne Naylor, and we perfectly understand. If councillors refuse to make the cuts, the government will simply parachute in Crapita or some other organisation, the commissioners, who will come in, take charge of the council and make the cuts anyway. So that is what could happen. I'm just telling what Pete said. I can see people shaking their heads, you might disagree. Okay, Pete discussed about, he covered other things about health workers' pay rise being cancelled by Hunt. Teachers and local authority workers already have had a pay freeze for 2 years. We should look at a strategy of going back to the unions for action. The NUT had a one-day strike this week, which was pitifully ineffective. They have spineless union leadership and spineless Labour leadership. Miliband doesn't put forward an alternative. He only says the cuts are happening too fast. There are several unions campaigning to strike, and Pete Flack's suggestion was, why don't they all strike on the same day as they did in November 2011, and then we get a really good turnout. Okay. Then we had contributions from the floor, and I spoke about the fact that women are hit hard by austerity measures, and today I did a rough head count of probably about 80 people at the end of the first session, and only 25, that's less than a third here, are women. I mean, that's average, I suppose, but public meetings. We have got to involve women because they are the people who are losing the jobs in the public sector. Most of the public sector job losses have been women's jobs, and it's reported in The Guardian today that most of the new so-called jobs being created in the private sector are mainly for men. So I just speak about these things. I think we all agreed we want to provide an alternative vision of society looking forward. We want a grassroots organisation. We want to commit branches of unions to supporting any action we agree on. I've already mentioned calling for a joint union strike action. We should aim to bring unemployed and employed people together in a movement. And develop a new organisation on the left, whatever that might be. Of course, there's the key involvement of women, and as somebody from County Livingston made the point that what we need to do is educate people about the cuts, not just organise, but actually educate people to understand why the cuts are happening. I'd just like to mention to you that Leicestershire Fawcett Group will be having its AGM on the 28th of November, and that will be at the Secular Hall in Humberston Gate, and we will be having speakers about the effects of austerity on women in particular.